Hey, this is Jonathan.
Hey, this is Andrea, and welcome to TinderLand.
Welcome back to TinderLand. Happy holidays, everyone. We're all in a celebratory mood this evening as we're welcoming our first guest to the show. Let's say hello to Dutchess.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dutchess. So Dutchess is a friend of mine who has preferred to remain anonymous for the podcast. And we came up with this very cool nickname, the Dutchess, because I just think it reflects her personality. Her all-in-all, rock star, badass, get shit done kind of person.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You are very welcome. So the Dutchess and I have known each other for a while. We worked together when we were a lot younger. I'm not going to say how long ago, but a while ago. And we have friends in common as well. She is part of our circle, big circle of friends. So welcome to the Dutchess. And I thought it was interesting to have her over because she's an avid Tinder dater, or used to be, I guess.
Well,
she's taken now, I think. She's off the market, temporarily at least.
Off and on, like all of you.
I'd like to believe it's forever, but, we never know.
We will see. We will see. So being an avid Tinder dater, I just thought he was the best person to bring along as a first guest. And I'm quite curious, what role does Tinder play in your life?
Well, I think I join Tinder every time that I have a bad breakup or just a breakup in general. This is the first thing I do. I download the app and I upload pictures and I start swiping. And then I get likes and it makes me feel good.
That's very honest. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how soon after the breakup would you say that you make a profile?
Wow, that's 12 hours, give it or take. Depends on the relationship, depends on how bad the breakup was. My last boyfriend, we were together, my last relationship before this one, we were together for about a year and a half. Okay. And I joined Tinder about a week later when I was sure that it was over.
You had an appropriate mourning period there.
I had to. I had to cry a lot and, eat a lot of chocolate and stuff. And then I joined Tinder, 10 pounds heavier. But it's okay.
Well, I will say that you don't look like what you're saying that you are at the moment. But part of my coping process as well from breaking up is having a Tinder profile, right? Just getting yourself out there. And also, you're curious because you've been dating somebody for almost a year or two. You have no clue what the dating market is like, right?
The dating market.
Sounds like I'm trading stocks, but yes, the dating market.
Yeah, no, definitely. You want to see what's out there. What have you been missing out or not? Because you can meet a lot of creepers on Tinder. So sometimes you're like, oh, man, I miss my ex. So you never know.
And when you get on there, whether you're on the rebound or not, how often are you looking? I mean, how often is your primary focus finding something long-term versus just a hookup in the moment?
Always. I'm always looking for a long-term relationship. I never want to just hook up. My goal is still to get married and have babies, but it's just never worked out.
And whether or not that's your intention, how often does it turn out to be just a one or two dates?
Actually, every time, I guess. I've had last year sometime or a little before I was dating my ex, I dated someone for about 5 months that I met on Tinder. It was okay. I think throughout the 5 months, I knew that it wasn't going to work out, but I was lonely, I guess, so I still kept dating him. And my boyfriend now, so I'm hoping that will last, but we never know. It's only been a month and a half. So
good.
I think I would say that I also go in looking for something long term, but then it just so happens that you get booty calls along the way, right?
Well, I don't do booty calls, but I see your point.
Well, booty calls for us, we're not the booty call person.
I know.
We booty call other people. Let me make that very clear. Just to be sure we're on the same page. But out of all, those crazy Tinder dates, what would you say was your worst first date?
My worst first date I think it was this guy when I still lived in Florida. I just moved back from Florida about 6 months ago. And this guy, we went on a date, and I felt like I got catfished because he looked nothing like his pictures. He was just, I barely recognized him. If he hadn't told me what he was driving, I would not have recognized him.
Wow.
And we went to this cute little restaurant in West Palm Beach for brunch, and it was fun. And the whole date, he talked about himself. I talk a lot, and I could not put one word in. He was just talking about himself and talking about his job and his accomplishment. He even told me his salary.
Wow.
He made a point to tell me how much money he made, which was not a lot. So it was just very sad. It was just like, you should not be proud of this. And at the end of it, he came to kiss me, and I was like, no. So, but the best part about it was the next day, or not even, he kept texting me throughout the next week.
Why? Hold on. So you went out with this guy again?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
He just kept texting me like, hey, how you doing? Sending me selfies of the real him, and trying to get me to go out. And I just totally ignored him. My goal was to ghost him.
And hold on, by the real him, you mean not the catfishing photos from Tinder?
Right, like the real person that I actually had met, because
Wow.
I mean, it would make no sense. It's like, this is not you, dude. Like, why are you lying to yourself? So finally, I answered, and I was like, listen, I was just not very into you. It's just not going to work out. No. So he went on a rant, and he was like, I wish I had those text messages. He just texted me back to back for like an hour. It was like pages and pages of text messages. And it ended up with, is it because I'm white? Are you a racist?
Wow.
And I was just like, you are insane. And I blocked him, and I was hoping that I'll never have to run into him. And I don't know if I did, because I wouldn't recognize him now, but it was just really, really weird.
So he accused you of being racist for not dating a white guy.
Which is not accurate at all. It just so happened that he was white. Like, it was just really weird. It was just definitely not a good time.
And don't you hate when you're trying to break up with somebody, especially somebody who you don't have that much of a connection with? The date was just horrible. You kind of wish you're both on the same page, like you both thought it was horrible, but this person is high on their delusion, thinking that the first date went great, and then they're sending you big text messages to try to get to convince you to date them.
Yes, he would say in the text messages things like, we have everything to work out, we're meant to be, I can see you as the mother of my children. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
how do you know? I didn't talk at all.
After
we talked
one
the
date.
whole one date. This happened. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like, he was just so obsessed with keep going out with me. I feel like maybe it was just because I didn't want to go out with him anymore. He just would not stop. Thank God he didn't know where I lived.
But you know, what is it with guys saying, I could see you being the mother of my children? Like, as women, well, I'm very gay, so maybe to me I'm just like, whatever that means. I just don't get it. Like, I don't know what you're trying to sell here.
Well, they're picturing the ultimate end goal, I guess, and maybe they're assuming that's yours too. I'm not sure. I don't get the taking it personally after a brief rejection. One date, sorry, not working out, and then they launch into these paragraph text messages with, obviously their ego's bruised and all that. I don't get that. I don't understand how they get so invested in a single encounter.
No, I don't understand that either. I really don't. But I'm glad that page is flipped in your life. You no longer have to deal with that guy. I assume because you blocked him, right?
I did. I had to. I had no choice.
Otherwise, you'd be getting, Thanksgiving messages and Christmas messages.
I miss you. Will you marry me?
Oh, my goodness.
Jesus. Just weird.
So I know we are kind of focusing on Tinder a little bit today, but this question would be hard to ask with Tinder because it would be practically impossible. But have you been on a blind date before?
No, I have not. I've had friends trying to set me up with guys, including
Myself.
Well, yes. But I was really thinking about the guy that we both dated.
So I don't even know if Jonathan knows that the Dutchess and I dated the same guy.
Eskimo sisters.
Well, yeah, kind of. I guess you could say.
Yeah. Not at the same time, though. Let's just make that clear.
Make that clear. It
Not-
wasn't at the same time.
Not at the same time. Okay.
But the Dutchess and I dated the same guy, and I'm gonna call him the chain smoker guy because he constantly chain smokes. So I met this guy through friends a long time ago, before Tinder. I would assume. Had I kind of went out with him for 2 months, I would say. It wasn't that long. We went to New Orleans together, and it was so bad. This guy was annoying the shit out of me. I mean, the guy would breathe, and I would just get super annoyed. And Jonathan was actually at this trip. And so my friends drove to New Orleans, and then they were driving back, and then I flew in with this guy. Towards the end of the trip, I mean, even this guy breathing next to me, I was just like, oh my God, look at him. He's so annoying. Like, he was just getting on my nerve. And I was being too much, I think.
Well, a lot of that was more you than him at the time, but he'd crossed the line in your mind.
Yeah, so he had crossed the line in my mind. And I tell my friend Marcella, who was dating this guy also at the time, not the same guy. He was dating a different guy, Marcella was. And so we're getting ready to leave. This guy's packing up the bag in the room. And then I told Marcella, hey, do you guys have a room in a car? Because I don't want to fly back with this guy. She's like, amiga, it's a 30-minute flight from Atlanta to New Orleans. You're really not going to get on a flight? I was like, if I go on a flight, amiga, I don't know. He's just annoying the shit out of me. I was like, can I just ride back with you guys? She's like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, totally, if you want to ride back. So this guy is packing up his clothes. Poor guy doesn't even know what he did. I was just done with it, right, at that point. And so this guy is like, okay, so are we going to get going or what? You're going to get ready? I'm like, oh, I'm actually not going with you. I'm just going to go with my friends. And then he was kind of in disbelief because I was kind of, I was being mean to him, I think, a little bit. Kind of a bitch.
It's a bit unreasonable, but you were trying to make your point.
Yeah, so he just left, and I ended up riding back 7 hours as opposed to getting on a flight for 30 minutes. Because I was like, I cannot be on the same plane with that guy. I cannot be on the same breathing space. Everything was annoying the shit out of me. Long story short, I come back to Atlanta. I take... my friend goes down with me to break up with him because I didn't want him to hold me in his apartment, like trying to talk to me. So I went in, I broke up with him, and I said, dude, I got to go because my friend is waiting for me outside. Like, I got a ride here to break up with you. Poor guy. So this guy is like totally, like, I'm just, you know, I can't imagine how he felt, right? But it just wasn't meant to be. Few months go by, I receive a text message from Marcella saying, hey, the Dutchess wants to date the chain smoker guy. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. She was like, are you cool with it? I was like, amiga, go for it. You know, I don't care. You know? So that's how you went about to date him. But how was it? Was it as bad for you as it was for me?
Yes, I would say yes to that. I feel bad for him. I really do. I don't know what made me want to date him. He was very good looking.
He's your type a little.
Yeah, he's definitely my type. Very handsome. Has a good job, and I cannot explain why I just didn't like him. But I just didn't. So we started dating, and he was just. I feel like he was everything that I thought I wanted. But when I got it, I just could not deal with it. He was constantly texting me, and he wanted to see me every single day.
Very needy.
Very needy. But it wasn't something that happened naturally. I think that when you get in a relationship, and it just kind of happens. Like when you're both on the same page and you just want to hang out all the time and you just fall in love and this and that. I was just not there, and he just kept. Really, it was just so much.
I think he wanted to settle down, right?
I think he still does. What I hear that he's still single.
I'm shocked. Shocking.
So I was pretty horrible to him too. I wanted to break up with him on Valentine's Day, but Marcela wouldn't let me. So she was like, "Amiga, that's just not cool. You have to come to Valentine's Day dinner," which was at the restaurant she worked at. So I did show up 2 hours later, and I was just not feeling it. So finally, a couple weeks later, I sent him a text message saying, which was horrible. I know, I realized was bad. But I was just like, I'm sorry. I can't. I just don't like you like that. So that happened. And then I saw him again 4 years later.
But hold on a second. I want to dive into this a little bit more because this we're calling the Naughty Santa special, right? This is what we're calling. So I want to get deeper into the relationship with Chainsmoker guy. How was sex with him?
I'm just glad I'm out of the line of fire here.
I feel like for someone who watches that much porn, he should have learned something by now.
He does watch a lot of porn.
I think it's an addiction, honestly.
No, it was. And I told him, listen, this is not healthy, man. Because I would wake up with him watching porn in the morning before going to work.
Before going to work? I didn't even know it was like that. But he was just horrible. I felt bad for the guy. And he also didn't
He didn't want to touch your boobs either.
Oh,
right?
that's the thing. I forgot about that. So besides the fact that he didn't shave at all, it was just like that bush of hair.
Ew.
So gross.
It was not like that with me. I made him shave.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't get to that point. He did give me a key to his apartment after 2 days, which was also very weird. But so what happened was, so my boobs are fake. I got them 10 years ago now. And they were very expensive. I mean, I wanted to use them, right? And he wouldn't touch them. He just wouldn't do it. So finally I was like, what's up? Like, why would you not touch my boobs? You know, this is important. This is an important conversation. We have to talk about this. So he says, well, I'm afraid they're going to explode. What?
Wow.
This person was like almost 30 years old at the time. It was just, no. No, sir. Just no.
And he was smart, too. It wasn't that he was a dumb guy.
No, he was a smart guy. He had a great job. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I feel bad for him. I really do. So when I saw him for like a few months ago, when I first moved back, he was still single. And we went out again, and I thought, you know, I'm older now. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was just very immature, which I can see that.
Was this before or after the selfie that you and I took together and sent it to him? Because we did do that, Jay.
We're horrible.
That was horrible. We got
It's like we're taunting him.
Yeah, the Dutchess and I got together. We took a selfie, and then we texted him the photo.
It was after that.
Okay.
So he came to Marcela's birthday party. I invited him. And I honestly did think it could work out at that time. I wanted to like him. But then after the party, we went to my house and there's just no chemistry, and we did have sex, and it was horrible again. And then I was like, okay, now I remember.
You're like, okay, I remember why this didn't go.
Yeah. And the constant smoking and the constant drinking. It was just, I just couldn't do it. I do feel bad. I feel like I treated him badly, and I feel like I could get bad karma for that. I do believe that. But I just couldn't do it.
You know, I will go out and say that I think he's a good guy underneath it all. He just needs somebody that's a little bit patient and, you know, is willing to work on some things with him. I will say that was never me. Also, probably because he's a man, right? It would have never worked out. But it's just not my thing. But talking about bad sex, how often would you say when you do end up getting intimate with these guys? How much time do you give them? Because, okay, sex at first is a little awkward, right? Everybody's nervous. Everybody's trying to put up a good face like, okay, the greatest in bed. But sometimes the chemistry is not there. How long do you decide before you're like, okay, this is definitely bad? Because I will tell you, I don't cut that off right away the first night. Unless if it's like very, very bad.
You give them a chance or so to prove themselves.
Yeah, kind of like maybe get to know each other a little bit. I would say
Get in
maybe
their comfort zone.
2 weeks to a month. Like
A whole month of bad sex? No.
That's a long time.
That is a very long time.
okay, maybe not that long. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't know.
I think 2 weeks is plenty. I mean, the first time I get it, it's going to be bad. Or not as good. But after 2 weeks, man, if it's still not good, no.
Wow. 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is a good call.
I mean, it also depends how many times you're having sex with that person. But that's another thing. If we just started having sex, you probably want to do it all the time. And if you don't,
If it's good.
if it's good, that's true.
Well, right now, Andrea's used to seeing someone only once every other month or so.
Yeah, so I get as much sex as I can as soon as I see.
Well, yeah, I'm also in a long distance relationship now, so that's not ideal.
That's right. That's right. What are we gonna call that guy? Jersey Shore guy. I know. Okay, it's not what she wanted to give the nickname, but I just feel that I cannot pass up this opportunity because I don't know how many people are gonna come on the show that date people from New Jersey.
Yeah, he's
Jersey
from
Shore it
Jersey.
is. All right.
Jersey Shore. So tell us about Jersey Shore. How did you meet this guy?
So I met him online as well. We matched, and
Tinder or
it was actually Hinge.
Hinge? Okay.
Yeah. And we just really connected, even through text messages. I thought, wow, this guy is amazing. At this point, I didn't know that he didn't live here.
Okay.
I just thought he was the guy who lived in Atlanta, you know. So I was in Texas at the time for work. I travel every week from Monday to Thursday. And we talked about going on a date on Saturday. So we kept talking through text messages. The conversations are great. And we go on a date, and we were supposed to be just an hour at Piedmont Park. 4 hours later, we're still there and just having this amazing conversation.
That's very cute.
It was really sweet. It really was. And then throughout the date, he mentions, yeah, I'm going back to Jersey in 2 weeks. I was like, oh, for how long? For forever. I live there. Excuse me, sir? So I tell him that he tricked me into liking him before he told me that he didn't live here.
Wow.
Because honestly, had he told me that he didn't live here, I would not have met him in person. I would not be okay with
But
that.
hats off to a Jersey Shore guy for being
Yeah.
ballsy.
He played me. I got played. But it's okay. I really like him.
So far, so good with this guy. But I do want to talk about
Our sex life.
No, maybe not. Maybe not today. But I do want to talk about. I want you to tell us the story about this guy. I think this happened this year, and I'm gonna call him without a clue guy because this guy has no clue. So tell us the story. I don't know if you heard this, Jonathan, about the Dutchess dating this guy who brought his dad over to the date.
Jonathan met the guy.
Oh, fuck.
Brought his dad to the date? Oh,
Yeah.
The same guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Huh.
Yeah.
Like a first date?
It was a second date. I think it was the second
an
time
early
that I met.
date.
Yeah, it was weird. It was not okay.
So tell us about that. So this guy, you're on a second date with this guy, and he's like, well, I'm going to bring my dad over? I mean,
Well-
what's up with that?
It was in my house, so I guess still not okay.
No, it's still not okay.
Okay. So this is during my obsession with dating Brazilian guys. I went through a phase. It lasted about 2 months.
Very short-lived.
It was very short-lived. So I met this guy on Tinder, and he does the same kind of job that I do. So I was like super excited, you know. So we go out, and it was a good first date. I wasn't 100% sure that I wanted to see him again, but the fact that he was Brazilian, was willing to give it a try. So one day it was my housewarming party, and we had a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends over, and So he texts me. He's like, I really want to see you. And I say, well, come to my house. There's a whole bunch of people here. It'll be fine.
So at this point, you went out with him once, 101.
Yes.
So this would have been the second time you saw him,
You would have.
officially after like seeing like a dating. I'm
no,
not
that
gonna call
was definitely
seriously.
no, but that was the second time. It wasn't like that. It was the
Wow.
second time.
Okay.
So he texts me first and he said, "Can I bring a couple friends? Because I'm at this party right now." And I'm like, yeah, "That's fine. That's different, but okay." So he shows up and it's him, a couple, and his father.
What the fuck?
And okay, they brought beer and they were capable of entertaining themselves, but his father was there the whole time, and his father would not shut up. He it makes me sound horrible, but it was different meeting his father right there. His father thought we were in a long-term relationship.
Oh my goodness.
Had no idea this is the second time that we were seeing each other, calling me his future daughter-in-law. And, you know, I cannot wait to meet you again. I hope this works out. And I'm just thinking, this is really weird. And all of my friends are also saying, like, why did he bring his dad?
Well, his dad probably would have called him an idiot too if he'd known how premature it was.
I think so. I think his dad would think that would be weird too. So, yeah, we ended up dating for a couple months, maybe a little over a month for sure. And I did really like him. And then I found out he actually had a girlfriend who lived somewhere else, and he had a trip planned to Europe with her while during my birthday week. So
Typical Brazilian thing to do.
yeah,
Maybe his dad met her too.
Maybe that's why he was
yeah.
confused.
So maybe he didn't. Yeah,
He thought you were the same person.
that's what I was gonna say.
So the couple friend that he brought over was the couple that I met at your birthday party.
Yes, they are actually really nice.
They're really nice people. I actually went up to them and I said, not Marcella, who said it? No, you said it. That, okay, this couple used to be friends with Without a Clue guy. And then I was like, oh, yeah. Then I told the couple, which is friends with the Without a Clue guy. I was like, oh, yeah, isn't that the guy who brought his dad over to the date? And then they were cracking up. And then they're like, yeah, actually it is.
Yeah, that was weird. We think so too.
And you're like, amiga, don't say that. I'm like, God, they know it's weird.
That's exactly what happened, actually. Yeah, that was weird. The whole thing was weird. But I was willing to forgive the fact that he brought the dad over. I was willing to see past that. It was just the fact that, you know, he had a girlfriend the whole time. And I confronted him about it. I was like, I know that you're going. I know that you have a girlfriend. He's like, no, that's not true.
Wow.
I was like, dude, I already
Gaslighting
know.
you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
For a second, I thought I was crazy, which is the worst thing about dating is when you think that you're the crazy one.
But that's what he's doing. He's gaslighting you, right? Making you think that this is all crazy shit.
I didn't know that's what I meant.
Explain to us, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting is basically something exists, you're saying it exists, and they just say it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
And telling you you're crazy for thinking it does.
That's exactly what he did. That is exactly what he did. It's like, dude, I know. Don't lie to me. Yeah, it was overall. I wasn't too upset about it. And then a week later, I met Jersey Shore on Hinge, and I've been very happy ever since. But I wasn't upset because of what. I wasn't upset because it was over. It was just about what he did to me. Like, had been lying to me for over a month.
Yeah, he's being shady, right?
Yeah.
He's just being shady. And being shady is not cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole time he's basically wasting your time.
Right. And I'm 32. I have no time to waste.
32. You're so old.
I know. Yeah.
So, you know, with you traveling Monday through Thursday or Friday, I'm not sure, you basically are never in town. How do you reconcile dating with working, with your career? I know you're very much career driven.
Yeah, so I travel Monday through Thursday for work, and 3 weekends out of the month I have grad school on Friday nights and Saturday all day too.
Wow.
So I don't have a lot of free time. I also on the weekends have to either study or work. And it's really hard because people just don't understand that, you know, it may be Wednesday night at 11 o'clock and I cannot talk on the phone because I have to work, or Sunday mornings and I just have to work. I don't sleep a lot. So that's one of the things that really helped me. Like I sleep 6 hours at the most, and they're great 6 hours, but
one of the things that really help.
Yeah,
sleeping.
I just don't sleep a lot. And when I am working, I'm working. When I'm studying, I'm studying. And you have to understand that's my life. It is what it is. If you do not understand that I want to go as far as I can on my career, if you want to be with me, you have to understand that's who I am. That's where I want to get. The person that I'm dating now works very well because he's also very, very busy. He's actually still in school. He's in med school, so he's always studying or doing something for school. So that's working, but in general, it's not easy. People just don't understand that my career is first.
But one of the beautiful things about long distance dating, I mean, it's very hard, right? And it kind of sucks to miss the person. And sometimes you wish you were like, hey, let's go grab a drink. Right? No agenda. I'll see you in an hour. That's not possible when people live far away. But one of the benefits is that you get that the talk and the care that you need, right, emotionally.
Which I do.
And you have a lot of time also to take care of yourself.
Yes, it's been working so far. I am concerned that some days, so at my job, not only I travel Monday through Thursday, but after work, we either go to dinner together as a group, or I have to go back to the hotel and keep working or studying. So sometimes I just tell him, like, I'm sorry, I can't really talk tonight. I can only talk for a little bit. And I don't know if it bothers him. I think it bothers me more than him.
Okay.
I think I'm a little scared that I'm going to lose someone who I care a lot about because of my job and school. But I don't have an alternative right now. I keep thinking about, like, am I going to die single because of, because of my crazy work schedule? And is that ever going to get better? It may not. So
it will get better. You're not going to get a PhD, right?
Hopefully not. No, for sure not. I would not.
So it will get better. This is as bad as it gets. But also, if you get somebody that works through that with you, that's a keeper, right?
Yes, if he's willing to wait until December 2020. But I don't know. I
December 2020?
is when I graduate. Yeah.
That's
around the corner.
That's right around the corner.
It's another year of misery, and then it'll be done. But it's not just grad school. My work is very challenging. Yes, I would love to be able to just watch TV sometimes, not on a schedule. I feel like all my life is scheduled.
Right.
Like I have 30 minutes to talk to you on the phone. I have another 30 minutes to shower. Then I have to work for an hour, and then I can watch a YouTube video for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to bed because I have to be up at 5 to study for 2 hours to then go to work. And it's always like that. So I need someone who can understand that. It can understand that I'm also a planner. Like I need to know what's going on Sunday night, because if you have no plans, I'm probably going to read an article for grad school and things like that.
So do you feel like you're devoted to your career by choice, or maybe you're addicted to it like a habit because you feel like it's what you're supposed to do? Like you said, you're a long-term planner.
That's a hard question. I don't think I'm addicted to my career. I think I love it. I love my career. I don't necessarily love my job right now, but I think that I feel like I see my potential and I just want to get to the finishing line, which may never happen. I don't think I'm going to be the CEO of a company one day. I would love to, but I don't think it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, I don't have a family. I barely have a boyfriend, and it may be because of my career. So I feel like I need to give my energy to the one thing that's working. So why would I not?
Does it allow you, the available time you have, does it allow you to put yourself out there enough? I mean, right now you're in a relationship that feels positive and another recent one. So it's not as though you spend extreme amounts of time single, right? So maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not too big of a sacrifice, right? Do you feel like it allows you to put yourself out there enough?
I think so, because when I am in a relationship, I'm all in. I'm all about that person. So the free time that I do have, I want to give to that person. And I hope that people can recognize that although it may just be the 30 minutes of that day, but those 30 minutes, I'm your. I belong to you, and I'm very, very faithful, and I try my best. I feel like I'm doing my best, but that's a really good point, Jonathan. I'm not sure. Maybe if I were to put a survey out to all my exes, maybe I should do that and ask why did it not work out.
In work mode. She's going to send a survey.
I mean, maybe that's an interesting idea. Like, why did this not work out? Was it because she's crazy? Is it because she works too much? I think it's because I'm crazy, but
I think if we're sending out surveys, I think yes, it's because she's crazy.
But yeah, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. I would like to believe it doesn't, though.
Okay. Well, in something lighter, I mean, you mentioned that you like to play hard to get.
Did I say that?
You did.
I did. Okay.
You did say that.
That was before. Okay. That was a joke.
That was off the record.
Yeah, that was off the record. So it's not like I like to play hard to get. It's just that I am so needy. Like, for the little amount of time that I have, I'm so needy. I feel like I need the constant reassurance that, oh, you are beautiful. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, I love you, and I just think you are awesome. And it's crazy to say that. I realize that. I really do realize it's crazy. But I do. So I feel like in the mornings, like, my favorite thing, and we were talking about this earlier, is my favorite thing in the morning is to wake up and see the text message saying, good morning. And when I mentioned, like, I like to play hard to get, is what I was saying is, like, I'm not going to text first. I need you to text me first so I can feel special. I know it's crazy. I do. But that's just who I am. I don't want to feel like that.
It's just a basic weird. Validation that you seek in that kind of relationship.
Yeah. I need the validation. Is it? Are you like? Please back me up. Are you like that too?
Yes, in a sense. Yes, I do. I expect.
Was that your way of saying no?
That's what I thought. I think it was.
Well, no, I do like to receive text messages in the morning.
Get your days. Okay.
Well, I do like to receive text messages in the morning first, right? And I have a time difference thing working for me, right? I mean, by the time I get up, Ice Princess is already having lunch or has already had lunch, right? So, yeah, I do expect a text message in the morning. I think it's reasonable.
by that time, just virtue of the time zones, yeah.
Precisely. But sometimes she doesn't, so I have to send it.
So do you feel upset when she doesn't?
No. But one day she kind of called me out, right? Because I was waiting for her to send something. Then I didn't send anything. She's like, and then she knew I've been online, right? She was like, well, you're not going to say anything. And I was like, oh, I'll say something. No, I don't have a problem. But I was just, I like to hear first, obviously.
This is going to sound extra crazy, which, I mean, at this point. But I feel like because I'm a lady,
okay,
he should text first, which, probably should not get into that. But I think that's my thought process.
As a gay person, I totally expect guys to do certain things. I'm not the most feminist person. Right, so I do have some gender roles. Like, the guy should text me first.
Chivalry is still a thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Still exists. Yeah.
Old school, right? You can say old school.
Maybe I'm old school.
It doesn't have to be anything bad, right? You're just old school. You're just classic.
I'm classic. Thank you. Well, yeah.
Yeah, for a rebranding or marketing, come to me, please.
So if you play hard to get sometimes, what do you have to say about other people playing games?
Oh.
Whether it's, right as you start messaging in an app versus, into the first few dates. What do you think of when you think of people playing games with you?
So I guess I'm a hypocrite because no games. If you say you're going to call, you call. If you say you're going to text, you text. If you say we're going to meet up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're meeting up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, especially when my schedule is so crazy. If I save that time slot for you, we need to be there. I was actually... one of the things about me is that I fall in love very easily. I meet someone, and if we hit it off, I start thinking about the China patterns that we're going to pick out. It's just so insane. So I met this one guy on Tinder, and I think it was the first or second person I met after my last long relationship. We went out on a couple of dates, and God, it was amazing. I thought he was the one, but I always think so. So don't take that so serious. My friends know that about me.
In the first 24 hours.
Maybe not first 24 hours.
Okay. But
after a couple of weeks, we really clicked, and we liked the same things. Well, at least I thought we did, right?
Okay.
And now all of a sudden, I was so blind. Now that I'm looking back, I realized that it was just so obvious. But on Saturdays, it just had other things to do. So given that I already travel Monday through Thursday, I could see him on Fridays and Sundays, but not Monday through Thursdays or Saturdays. And he would tell me on Friday nights, okay, well, tomorrow I am going to see you, and we're going to go do X, Y, and Z, and at 5 o'clock. And he would not talk to me at all until 10 o'clock and say, oh, I fell asleep, or oh, my mom was in town, or it was always something. Now I realize that he was probably dating somebody else. But at the time, it really...
Was he though?
I'm still not sure.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I think it's pretty obvious that he was, but I didn't catch him with anybody else. But it really drove me insane that he would say things like, oh, I'm going to see you, and he didn't, or he played me the whole time we were dating. And I was so delusional about him too. I thought that everything was fine, because if that's the thing too, like the first 3 weeks were so good that for the next month and a half that was miserable, I just kept remembering the first 2 to 3 weeks that we did have together that were great.
Right.
When his real girlfriend was probably out of town. So, yeah, that's that.
Well, along the same lines, how long into a new relationship? I mean, say it starts strong, you're feeling it, everything's going, fine. How long until you might expect yourself to begin losing that initial spark, finding it difficult to keep things interesting?
So I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And even with that guy specifically, it took me a month and a half of not being happy to finally say I'm done. I think that depends a lot on the relationship and how long you're with that person. With my ex-boyfriend, we were together for a year and a half, and the last 6 months were just horrible. And it took me 6 months for me to be done and say I'm ready to walk away. That's something weird about me. Like I mentioned earlier that I fall in love very easily, but once I decide that I'm done, I'm done. There's no coming back to it. I'm done. I never want to see you again. I delete you from my life, really. Like it's like you never existed.
And we're very similar
when it comes to that.
When it comes to falling in love quickly and then just being like, I'm fucking done.
Never want to see you again.
I never want to see you. I bet you're not friends with any exes.
No, I don't see why. Would you?
I'm
be
not
friends
either.
with
I
ex?
know some people that are friends with their exes and whatever, but that's not me. Like, and usually my exes also don't want to talk to me.
Well, I'm a sweetheart, so no, I'm joking. Yeah, I don't think they would want to talk to me either. But then we wouldn't really have anything to talk about. Well,
I think that is just weird, right? It's just weird.
And then you have to tell me about who you're dating at the time, and we have to act like we have to compete, obviously. Like, no, I'm happier. No, you are happier. Like, who is the happiest here? No, it's me, obviously. I have a better job. No, you do. It's just awkward. No, there's no point of doing that. And then you risk going back into that same horrible relationship that you tried to get away from. Right. No, this just when we're done, there's no point. Let's just move on.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just move on.
Mm-hmm.
Or I like when people say, "Oh no, but let's be friends." I'm like, I have enough friends.
I have plenty of friends. I like my friends, and I don't like you. So why would you be in my circle of friends?
That's so mean, but yeah,
I know. But it's true.
it's true. It's
They're
true.
exes for a reason.
So, Dutchess, how do you know when you've just really hit your limit with somebody, when you're just done with someone?
That's a hard question. I think it depends on the relationship. My last boyfriend, we had been friends for many years before we got together and decided to date. So I gave him longer time than I would usually give it to somebody. I think there are things that are like not acceptable, such as cheating or, I mean, thank God that never happened to me, but if somebody were to ever abuse me or things
Yeah.
like that. But sometimes, like one time I broke up with a guy because he kept referring to himself in third person. And I thought that was just really odd.
No, that is really. I think that's a valid.
It was a
reason.
long time ago, but it was just really weird. And it's just, every person is different. But yeah, that's my final answer. Everybody is different. Some people just deserve more time, and I'll give them more time. Some people I'm just like, dude, you have to go. Like, I have to drive with my friends from New Orleans to Atlanta just so I'll be on a plane with you.
I
Such
can
as
relate to that.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah.
So I actually have some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
So just try to keep them short and sweet, and first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
So texting or talking?
Texting.
Invisibility or superpowers?
Invisibility.
No.
Am I doing this bad?
Invisibility is a superpower.
No, or super strength. Oh, yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
I think you did that before.
No.
Yeah, I did that when I was writing. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Have you ever slapped someone in the face?
Yes.
During sex?
No. Well, yes, but both. Just yes.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how good are you at keeping secrets?
1.
Damn.
Yes. Well, usually I tell my friend, can I tell my boyfriend? Because he will know. So just so y'all know.
And who has it easier, men or women?
I think nowadays it's pretty equal. Yeah.
Ask permission or beg for forgiveness?
Beg for forgiveness.
Name a book that you have read that positively shaped you.
Harry Potter. You should know this.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Always Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Okay, good to know. So, thank you very much for coming in and agreeing to do this with us.
Guys, this was great. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm really happy. This has been great.
It's been a fun extension of our ongoing thought experiment here. You've made a great guest, Dutchess.
Well, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, Dutchess. And for everyone out there, this is a wrap. Thank you for listening to TinderLand. And happy holidays, have a happy New Year, and happy National Hangover Day, which is New Year's Day.
Indeed. Yeah, we're excited about recording some new segments for you and would love to hear more of your ideas and your own stories. So feel free to reach out to us on the web, tinder.land, or at Instagram or Facebook at TinderLand Podcast. And until next time, happy swiping.
Happy swiping.
Bye.